You ever notice how every geography and travel AI list channel does the same recycled nonsense? New York, Miami, Los Angeles. Yeah, we get it. They're big, they're expensive, and you'll leave with fewer dollars and more parking tickets than you arrived with. But what about the little towns nobody talks about? The places that don't show up on glossy travel magazines, but still have way more character than another overpriced cocktail in Manhattan. Today we're digging into those forgotten corners of America. These are towns with wild histories, weird attractions, and just enough charm to make you wonder why everyone else hasn't flocked here already. With mountain hideouts with no roads into town, to desert outposts that look like they were built for a movie set, these are the real hidden gems of America. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, Stehekin, Washington. Stehekin isn't just a small town. It's a place so isolated you'll start checking your phone to make sure you haven't accidentally gone back to the 1800s. Located in the northern Cascades on the north end of Lake Chelan, there are no roads leading into town or out for that matter. I mean, it kind of goes without saying. You'll get there by boat, plane, or if you're the kind of person that likes to hike, you got a 23-mile trek ahead of you. The town's history is built on rugged pioneers who thought, yeah, this is a terrifyingly remote valley. Seems perfectly great to raise goats, children, and maybe even running into a homicidal hermit in the woods. It's that type of place. Fun fact, even today, Stehekin only has about 85 year-round residents. It's not a typo, 85. The town has one bakery that's so good, people literally boat in for the cinnamon rolls. Imagine craving carbs so badly you'll cross a glacier-fed lake in the morning just to get your fix. That's Stehekin life. These days, it's basically an unplugged paradise. No cell service, no real internet, and nobody cares what's trending on TikTok. Instead, life revolves around trails, waterfalls, and wondering how the mail got here. It's the kind of place that makes you consider whether you actually need Amazon Prime in the first place. Stehekin has a population of 85. Number 9, Jarbidge, Nevada. Jarbidge is the kind of town that sounds made up, like something an old prospector would yell before coughing up a lung full of dust. Tucked in northeastern Nevada near the Idaho border, Jarbidge was a classic gold rush boom town in the early 1900s. It made headlines as the site of one of the last stagecoach robberies in the U.S., which basically their claim to fame is, come see where criminals forgot cars had been invented. Jarbidge's name is derived from the Shoshone language meaning devil, because the locals, the Shoshone Indians, thought the hills around here were haunted. For a town that once had thousands of miners, today it has maybe 100 residents, period. Give or take a hermit or two. The dirt roads, scattered cabins, and saloons make it feel frozen in time. And with elk hunting, trout fishing, and wild scenery, it's a dream for the outdoorsy types who think vacation means sleeping in a tent while bears judge you from the tree line. Modern Jarbidge still holds on to its Wild West roots. Don't expect chain hotels or fast food joints. Instead, you'll find locals swapping stories over beers and tourists trying to wrap their heads around a place where cell service goes to die. Jarbidge has a permanent population of about 20 to 25 people. In the warmer months, that gets up to be around 100. Number 8, Livingston, Montana. Livingston has a name that sounds like it should belong in a Victorian novel, and honestly, it fits. Founded as a railroad town in the late 1800s, Livingston was the gateway to Yellowstone before it was trendy to visit national parks. Its history is full of ranchers, cowboys, and riders who showed up thinking Montana would be a peaceful escape, only to realize that winter in the Rockies isn't exactly peaceful. Fun fact, Livingston has long been a magnet for artists and writers. Legends like Norman MacLean, who wrote A River Runs Through It, great book, great movie, and other literary types found inspiration in the surrounding mountains. In other words, this is where you go when you want to find yourself, but still need a decent bar to complain in. If you're finding yourself, you got to complain about something, right? Today, Livingston balances small-town charm with just enough grit to keep it interesting. Main Street is full of historic buildings, quirky shops, and diners where you'll meet real ranchers sitting next to hipsters in Patagonia fleece. It's small town Montana with just enough culture to keep you from feeling like you fell into a cowboy movie. Livingston has a population of just over 9,000 residents. Number 7, Mount Airy, North Carolina. Mount Airy is best known as the real-life inspiration for Mayberry, the fictional town in the Andy Griffith Show. That's right, this is where television's favorite small-town sheriff got his roots. Andy Griffith was born here, and the town has leaned into that connection harder than a tourist shop selling Elvis mugs in Memphis. The town's history goes back to the 1700s, but it really boomed as a granite quarry hub. Mount Airy granite is everywhere. You could probably lick a random monument in DC and taste a little of North Carolina. The quarry is so big, it's basically its own mountain. So yes, Mount Airy is both a town and a rock superstar. Modern Mount Airy is a mix of nostalgia and small town life. You'll find Mayberry tours, barbershops styled after the show, and festivals celebrating all things Andy Griffith. But beyond the TV gimmicks, it's a genuinely warm community where Southern hospitality isn't just a phrase, it's how they do business here. They got a population of 10,583. I've talked about Mount Airy before. It's a great little town. I mean, their stats are exceptional. It's got to deal with tourists thinking they're in Mayberry, which is better than them thinking they're in The Walking Dead, right? Number 6, Cooperstown, New York. Cooperstown is best known as the home of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Cooperstown has been a baseball pilgrimage site since 1939, but before the hall, it was a quiet lakeside village founded in the late 1700s by the father of novelist James Fenimore Cooper, who gave us The Last of the Mohicans. Great book, another great movie. I love that movie. Daniel Day-Lewis, excellent. Beyond baseball, Cooperstown has an impressive history of breweries and agriculture. It's where America's pastime meets the original pastime, which is beer drinking. Fun combo. Today, the town mixes quaint Main Street charm with sports tourism. Life here revolves around baseball in the summer, leaf peeping in the fall, and small town charm all year round. It's proof you don't need a big city to have a legendary reputation. Cooperstown population is just a little over 1,800. Number 5, Murphy's, California. Murphy's started as a gold rush town in the Sierra Nevada foothills where miners struck it rich, or at least found enough to buy whiskey and regret. By the late 1800s, Murphy's was bustling, but like many mining towns, the gold eventually ran out, leaving behind historic buildings and a storybook setting. Now here's the twist. Murphy's reinvented itself as the Queen of the Sierras, thanks to vineyards and wineries popping up within the area. Today, it has more wine tasting rooms per capita than just about anywhere else in California, and that's saying a lot. It's basically Napa Valley's quirky cousin, the one who shows up at Thanksgiving barefoot, but somehow owns the best wine in the room. Current day Murphy's is a mix of boutique shops, wine tasting, and outdoor adventures. Visitors wander the historic Main Street with a glass of the local Zinfandel in hand, while locals somehow balance small-town living with being at the center of California's wine scene. If you're into history, wine, or just pretending you're fancier than you actually are, Murphy's got you covered. They got a population of about 2,000. Number 4, Leadville, Colorado. At over 10,000 feet above sea level, Leadville is the highest incorporated city in America. Founded during Colorado's silver boom in the late 1800s, Leadville was once one of the richest towns in the U.S. This is where fortunes were made and lost faster than you could say mine collapse. Its history includes wild saloons, colorful characters like Doc Holliday, and more scandals than a modern reality show. Leadville is full of fascinating tidbits. It had 2 opera houses during its boom, and it was home to the unsinkable Molly Brown, who famously survived the Titanic. So, yeah, Leadville is the kind of town where opera and disaster survival were considered casual hobbies. Today, Leadville leans into its historic charm with preserved Victorian architecture, a museum culture that could keep you busy for days. Outdoor life is big here. Skiing, hiking, and mountain biking draw adventurous types from everywhere. But don't underestimate the altitude. Just walking to get coffee feels like a little cardio if you're not used to it. You live there long enough, you'll get used to it. Right now, they got a population of about 2,633. That's actually as of 2020. Number 3, Yellow Spring, Ohio. Yellow Spring sounds like the name of a retirement community, but it's actually one of the most eccentric small towns in the Midwest. Founded in the 1800s, the town quickly grew around nearby Antioch College, known for its progressive values and occasionally students who smell faintly like patchouli. The quirky fact: Yellow Spring has long been a counterculture hub. Dave Chappelle calls it home, and the town has a history of protests, parades, and festivals celebrating everything from street art to wool socks. It's Ohio's version of a free-spirited enclave, whatever you want to say, and it's not afraid to show it. Today, Yellow Springs thrives as a blend of hippie roots and small-town life. Farmers markets, co-ops, and coffee shops dominate, but you'll also find miles of trails and waterfalls just outside of town. It's the kind of place where you can buy organic kale, catch a comedy show, and still make it to bed by 10 p.m. It's not a bad place to live. They got a population of about 3,756 residents. Number 2, Nevada City, California. Despite the name, Nevada City is firmly in California. Born during the gold rush in 1849, it became one of the richest mining towns in the state. At its peak, Nevada City had banks, theaters, and hotels that rivaled San Francisco. Then the gold dried up like so many other places, and the town shrank into obscurity, though it never quite lost its spark. Now, it's pretty interesting. During the 70s and 80s and 90s, we got the Rust Belt. All the manufacturing went away, and it just kind of failed that part of the country. Well, out west, you had something similar in the 1800s. I mean, it was an industry, gold and silver mining, and then it just went bust. And, it was almost the same thing, just different things they were making or, getting out of the ground. It's always just baffled me that different areas have always had this. And, I mean, when cotton fell apart in the South, that kind of ruined the South for a while. Everyone has their time, and you hope you recover from it. Fun fact, Nevada City is the birthplace of the Peloton water wheel, a technology that revolutionized hydroelectric power. That's right, this little town helped power the modern world, which is way cooler than just being a place where some miners used to get drunk. Today, Nevada City is a historic gem with Victorian architectures, boutiques, shops, and enough art galleries to make you wonder if you accidentally walked into Portland, Oregon. I mean, without the hobos. It's also big on festivals, film, music, you name it. If you want small town charm with a touch of innovation, Nevada City is worth the detour. Nevada City has a population of about 3,145 people. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're looking to move to any one of these towns, there is a link for a website called Home and Money in the description area. It's a great website that can help you with your moving process or home buying process. They'll actually get you in touch with a real estate agent anywhere in the country. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Mount Shasta, California. Mount Shasta isn't just a town, it's a myth factory. Sitting at the base of the massive volcano it's named after, the town has drawn spiritual seekers, hikers, and conspiracy theorists for decades. Native American tribes consider the mountain sacred, and over the years, it's been tied to everything from UFO sightings to lost civilizations. Basically, if you want your vacation with a side of weird, this is the spot. I've been through here quite a few times, driving from California to Oregon back in the day. Haven't been there in a while, but I like it. It's a good place to stop and check things out. Historically, Mount Shasta grew as a logging and railroad hub in the late 1800s. It thrived on natural resources, but the looming volcano always gave it an edge of mystery. People claimed mystical energy flowed from the mountain, making it one of America's oldest spiritual spots. Think Sedona, but with more snow and fewer overpriced crystals. God, it's like every hippie girl wants to start a crystal shop in Sedona. There's so many of them. Been a couple years, but it's ridiculous. Anyway, modern Shasta is a balance of small town life with big mountain vibes. It's got ski resorts, hiking trails, and coffee shops where you'll overhear people casually debating aliens. The town lives in the shadow of a 14,000-foot peak, and locals wouldn't have it any other way. People that move up to Shasta, they stay there. Most people will go by there and go, okay, great, mountain town, move on. Something really weird about Mount Shasta and something really cool at the same time. Doesn't have the world's greatest stats, but it's still pretty cool. Mount Shasta has a population of 3,124 residents. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.